genuinely like very concerning. Like, you really thought you ate that? Really?
Me and you could never be. Why can't you see all the things you've done to me? Made it harder for me to love and trust someone. So baby, please.
What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Jay Michael. Welcome back to another video. So if you couldn't tell from today's title and this beautiful mug of mine, we are doing another Get Ready With Me. I know I love filming these and y'all love watching them. So I'm gonna give the people what they love. There are a few things that have been happening over the past few weeks. So I thought, well, why not sit down, do some makeup, and just chit chat about some of the things that have been going on in my life. So if you want the tea on everything that has been going on these past few weeks, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and let's hop into the video. All right, y'all. So life since turning 21 has been quite a ride. First, we're gonna start off with a little bit of skincare, okay? I wanna go in with some primer. Which primer do I wanna use today? I'm out of the one that I normally use. I like to use the Kat Berkey Silk Protein Primer. Y'all know, but I don't have like anything in here. When I'm not using this, I like to go in with the Beauty for Certain Make It Bang. I like a lot of primer, okay? In my opinion, you could never have too much primer on the face, okay? You could never. Life since turning 21. Boy, I tell you, has it been a journey. Now, I haven't been 21 for that long. For those of you who don't know, I turned 21 on February 26th. I'm a Pisces, woo woo. Everybody be trying to dog us Pisces out like we just these bad people. And that's not the case, okay? I didn't really like talk about my birthday. My birthday was all right. I think I'm in like a space now, like I've just, ever since I think turning 18, where like birthdays, not that they're insignificant, but like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I just haven't really cared that much about birthdays for real. I mean, like my 19th birthday, I went to LA. For my 20th birthday, I just spent the day in the studio. And my 21st, I went to LA. And that was nice. It was more so like a getaway from everything and like everybody. I love being home, but I don't like being in Virginia like that. If you want me to be like completely honest, like I don't really like being in Virginia like that. It just, I done been through a lot here. I just feel like when you're somewhere where you just been through a lot of turmoil, you just feel like it's just a lot of baggage. And I just don't like it here no more. There's nothing. Virginia serves me nothing. When it comes to my career or anything of that nature, it serves me nothing. Even, you know, when it comes to the dental stuff, which we will get into. But even when it comes to that stuff, like, there's nothing really out here. Like, I know if I was somewhere like in Atlanta or California, just somewhere where like the city was booming, I know for a fact I'm about to lay these eyebrows down with this NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel. I know I love this gel. If I was somewhere where like it was like city and, you know, city life was booming, I definitely would be making bank in the dental field. But they paying scraps out here. They are paying scraps, you know. But again, we're gonna get to that. My birthday, it was all right though. I went shopping. I spent the day just being out, really. I went shopping with my homegirl Elijah Kai. I know who she is. And then I should have told her to cut this little piece off. I might do it myself, cause I don't really like that. We went to a brunch spot. I can't remember the name of the spot, but we went to a brunch spot and it was really pretty. It was like a rooftop vibe. If you follow me on Instagram, then you probably would have already seen it, but I'll insert some clips here and there because I did take, you know, some candid videos on my little G7X. It was really cute. It was really cute. And after that, we went to Melrose Street and did a whole bunch of shopping and all the good stuff. If you saw the video of me coming back from LA, then you would have saw, you know, the haul and all that good stuff. Okay, that looks so much better. Anywho, my birthday was pretty cool, but I feel like ever since turning 21, I've just been in like an odd headspace, okay? I'm actually gonna go on my fancy. I'm gonna explain it to you in a perfect analogy, okay? SpongeBob, for instance, right? when Squidward had moved, this is so childish, I know, but this is like a way that I know for a fact that I can get it across from y'all. SpongeBob, right? When Squidward was moving out, right? He moved into that neighborhood and you know, all the houses looked the same. That one scene where he was doing the same thing over and over again, but you notice that like within each round, he was just getting more depleted, more tired, more over it, if you will. And that is the perfect way I can explain how it feels when I was working as a dental assistant. Every single day, I literally felt like I was pulling teeth. No pun intended. I felt like I was pulling teeth when it came to me coming in office and doing what I had to do. Mind you, I had to make sure that I was on my P's and Q's because at the end of the day, I asked to be there. I signed up for that. I never understood like people have doing the job that they literally signed up for. Like that's one thing that I'm just like, that don't make no sense, but whatever. Again, another topic for another day. Doing the same thing over and over again, you know, I felt like it was just getting to me. For those of you who don't know, I do deal with some mental health issues here and there, right? At one point, it was really, really, really bad. I was going to a therapist and all that stuff. I have not seen my therapist. It's been a whole entire year since I last seen my therapist. And I didn't realize how busy I was until like this was really brought to my attention. I haven't seen her in over a year. It was a situation. I had a talk with my grandmother and I just zoned out. What was being said, what was being talked about, and what transpired after that talk made me realize that like you are not as healed as you may think. You done had a rough past. It just takes time when you're healing to really get through and really be over certain things. So I feel like subconsciously this stuff has been on my mind. But last year your boy was working. Like I'd say, where's my pencil at? I'd say that like last year was like the first year where I can say I was pretty like busy. Like every single month I really had something going on. Even though January it started off like really rough with, you know, my cousin passing or whatever and DJ Nevaeh coming to live with us. That all happened in January. And I feel like after that, everything was just kind of like on go. That next month, February, I'm about to fill my eyebrows in with this Fenty Beauty pencil in the shade Soft Black. And we only do Fenty brows over here. Okay, but y'all know in February I went to LA twice, literally like back to back. The first time I went was for the premiere of Queens of R&B, and then me and moms, we were performing at an award show, Better Brothers LA Awards. Then after that, New York for press for the show, and then in May started my run of Pride. I started rehearsals. Then I went back to New York because mom, she had a street named after her. So that was really, really cool. You know, I got a job. I got a job in July. You know, I was busy. Moral of the story. I'm not going to run down how my year went because, yeah, I was really busy. I'd probably say like the time that, you know, I wasn't busy was probably like the last quarter of the year. Anything other than that, your boy was busy. I was doing something. I don't really think I had time to like think about like, you know, stuff like that would make me irritated or depressed or sad or whatever, because I was surrounded by and doing the things that I love. Despite me getting a job and not being too fond of that, I definitely would say, you know, just being on the road with my mom and going to concerts like Renaissance, I was just surrounded by music, surrounded by the people who I loved and enjoyed, and that kind of overpowered what was going on mentally, you know. So this year has honestly started off as a slow year, which is one of the things I've learned as a creative, is that everything isn't always going to be like there will be a period of time where you will kind of be idle. You might be stagnant, and you got to be okay with that. You got to push through it and get the algorithm back on your side. But that's one thing I've learned as a creative, and these past few months have been a bit slow. Yes, I released a single, and I'm actually about to release another single within the next 2 weeks. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, you know, I haven't really done much. The only time I've traveled was when I went to LA for my birthday. That's the only time I've been out of town thus far. So you can only imagine, you know, a person who's always on go doesn't really have time to really sit and think what that does to them, you know? I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this top off too. yeah, you can kind of imagine what that does to a person. So, you know, when you mix just not traveling for real with just working, you just start not to be in a good space mentally. Transitioning into working, if you do or don't know, I was a dental assistant. I had got a job. This upcoming June would have made a year that I would have been in that office, but I did end up quitting pretty sporadically this past Wednesday. I couldn't take it no more. You know, I didn't really touch topic on it in the vlog that I quitting, because I knew that I was gonna, you know, do a sit down and kind of talk about it, because it would have been too much to just sit down in a vlog and talk about, you know, or just make a whole entirely separate video. The issues that I had with that job, like, I'm not gonna say no names, of course. I'm not gonna say no company or anything of that nature, because that's just that's not my vibe, that's not my body. But I'm gonna talk about the situations. It started off very nice. The coworkers, my coworkers were still bond up until the point where I left. Like, we still talk, okay? But I say we still talk like I left for like years upon years, but whatever, I digress. Yeah, so it started off really well. Y'all know I had the working interview. The reason why I initially took that working interview is because it was paid. And I was like, ugh, of course, I would be an idiot not to take a paid working interview, because everybody don't do that. I have been on a working interview that I was not paid for and I didn't get a job. So I feel like if you're gonna have me come in there and work for this interview, you need to at least pay me, especially if I'm not gonna get the job. Like, give me a little something, a little departing gift or something. Like, we ain't never gonna see each other, but that don't mean you can't give me no money. Like, hello. But anyways, again, I digress. The work interview was nice. I'd say, let's see, I started working there in June. It wasn't until, I'd say like September, October is where, yeah, September, October is where things started to get a little sticky. So I already would get like off vibes from the office manager. I would peep certain things, and you know, typically if you work somewhere, you either don't like the boss or you don't like the office manager. And for me, it started off with me not liking the office manager. I couldn't stand her, okay? I could not stand her. Very passive aggressive, nice, nasty, would say stuff to you without really saying it, but you know like why she's saying stuff to you. It was just a lot of passive aggressiveness, and I didn't appreciate that. I know what type of person I am, and like when I'm in a professional workspace, baby, we at work, I'm brushing off my shoulders, I'm going on about my day, because when I go home, I'm not thinking about this, so I'm definitely not about to get worked up over this at work. But just listen. So there was one incident that happened which really made me go, okay, this is a little odd. So the first instance was, you know, I took off pretty much every single month that I was there. When you work at like a dental office with the boss who actually, I'm not gonna say does their job right, but you know, actually cares about their job and, you know, does decent work and doesn't just, you know, do patchwork and, you know, in my opinion, F people over, you really don't get to just take off all willy-nilly. Like, say like I had work tomorrow, but I need a Tuesday off because I have an appointment or something like that. I could easily tell my ex-boss, like, hey, I won't be able to come to work on Tuesday. You write it down on schedule, and that's that. Like, it was a very, that type of thing. You pretty much do whatever you want, which is why I really liked working there, because it was very flexible. I needed to, you know, I was still traveling while I was working there. So if I needed to go out of town and I needed a day off or something, I could easily do that with no problem. First instance, I took off, I was taking off to go to Renaissance. Now, mind you, I had Renaissance, I bought those tickets around my birthday last year. That was already pre-planned before I got that job. So whether that job was gonna give me off or not, I won't come in the office. So that was that. I had put in for my days off, and the office manager comes up and she's like, you know, and I should have known she was gonna be on some BS then. She was like, you know, we really hired you because we need an assistant. I'm gonna give you your days off because you're young and I want you to enjoy your life, but you know, we did hire you because we need an assistant, which, okay, that's cool, that's fine, that's dandy. But it was her turn.
And also, let me add that she said all of this, but they never once explained to me what the policy was when it came to taking off or paid time off. They never told me any of that. I was going to take off whether or not I got paid or not, but you're telling me this and you're coming to me with this passive aggressiveness and you didn't even tell me the rules to begin with. So whose fault is that? Not mine.
And it was a very nice, nasty, condescending type of tone. I'm like, okay, like, I'm picking up what you're putting down, but I feel like there's something else that's underlying in that. So from that first instance, I was like, okay, she might be a little problem. I don't know how I feel about this. Okay, so that was the first instance. That was what I put in those days. That was July. Was it torn in July or was it in August? I think it was either July or I think it was August. Ooh, the brows are giving. Ooh, and I don't even have no concealer on them. Ooh, baby. The second instance, I'm just talking about all the different instances that led up to why I'm leaving, okay? Just keep listening because the kicker is yet to come. So the second time, which I was like, okay girl, you tripping. I had put off for the Soul Train Awards. I remember walking out of the break room, all she says is, oh, so-and-so has off that day. So I was like, oh man, okay. What that got to do with me? Like, girl, what? I go to my other coworker because, you know, at one point there was a lead dental assistant there. That's what I like to call her. I'm about to conceal my eyebrows with this Tarte Shape Tape Ultra Creamy in the shade 575. Everything's gonna be down in the DB below. I was like, look girl, this is what it is. My mother, you know, she's performing, so like I kind of need to be there. It's not like a maybe. This is like, oh no baby, like I'm going to be there whether you give me these days off or not. So my coworker, she went and she made something happen to where we got somebody to come in and fill up for the spot where my other coworker was going to be out. That way I could be out and there wouldn't be no, you know, nobody would be lacking in any area in the office, right? I don't think that sat right with the office manager. She came in one day and she had said something about me being off, and I was like, well, oh, because I ended up putting it in the computer, and she said something about it, and I was like, she was like, who changed the schedule? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm not gonna be here that day. She was like pretty much upset, moral of the story, because I went over her head and I got my days off because, girl, who do you think you are? I don't know if you think just because there's like a age difference between us that you can talk to me in your type of way or, you know, come at me in your type of way. But baby, we still in a professional workspace. Whether you 60, whatever, 70, whatever, however old you are, and me being 21, there still needs to be a level of respect. In my opinion, I feel like there were times where she really wasn't giving that respect. She went berserk about the schedule, like, well, who changed the schedule? Who said that you could change the schedule? And I'm like, maybe your husband said that we could change the schedule. You know, the man who owns this place, the one who gave me the day off. Girl, please pipe down. You would think that she's the dentist and he's not. But that's not really what started making, you know, the pot boil at an excessive amount. The dentist I was working for, baby, okay, he just didn't deal well with the stress. I understand, you know, some people just don't deal well with stress. Hold up, let me conceal my eyebrows. I can't even talk and conceal at the same time. Give me a minute, hold up. So we got the eyebrows concealed. Now we can really continue with the story. Here's what really led to me starting to really like say, ooh, maybe I should say deuces. The doctor didn't deal with stress well, okay? I understand that. Not everybody deals with stress well, but there's still a way that you conduct yourself as one, a businessman, two, the boss of a business, and three, just like a grown man. Like, there's no reason for you to be throwing tantrums, especially over stuff that is your fault. I'm just gonna put it out there. The dentist I was working for was not good. No shade, no tea. There were some people who recognized me there. If you watch my channel, I would probably go somewhere else. And that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna keep that there. But if you want all your teeth in like the next 10 to 20 years to not fall out, or if you get a root canal and you like want it to not be retreated within like the next 2 years, go somewhere else. Get dismissed, like ASAP. He just wasn't good. He would just get upset over stuff that is his fault. Towards the end of my leave, and this is like one of the more memorable days of him having a tantrum. He's the type of doctor where if he gets mad, like he'll be slamming instruments down and he'll throw his gloves in a trash can, just acting like a total crazy lunatic man with patience in the freaking seat. We are doing a root canal. And like the process of root canal, you usually sit your patient down, you take an impression of their teeth, because when you get a root canal, 9 times out of 10 you need a crown, because the root canal makes the teeth a little bit more brittle, because you take away a lot of the tooth structure and you replace it with a artificial tooth structure, aka bougie, right? So when you get a root canal, you need an impression. So I was getting ready to take the man's impression, so whenever he's ready to get his crown, he can come back and get his crown. And my homegirl, or my coworker, she walks over to me and she's like, child, he is upset. And I'm like, for what? Like, what is he upset about now? Towards the end of my leaving, like, he was just always irritated. Like, I don't know if there was something going on at home and he was just coming to work and taking it out on like everybody at work, but like he was always just irritated. He always just seemed to have his old man draws in a bunch. So I was like, what is he upset about now? And she says that like he goes and get this patient numb without the patient actually knowing what he's gonna get. Every morning we have these morning huddles and you usually talk about each of the patients that's gonna be out coming throughout the day, and this was brought up. Like, it just says the treatment plan. I know it has a bridge in there, but there's nothing like down that says that we are for sure doing this, so let's just talk to the patient. Everybody's on the same page. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're gonna do that. And he just goes and gets the man numb. The man doesn't know what he's getting. When he finds out what's going on, he's like, I'm not doing that today. Like, my insurance not ran. He don't know how much he paying. So because the man said that he won't get in that, I almost said his name. The doctor, the dentist, he got upset. This was before he came in my room. Mind you, we're doing a root canal. He's in my room now, right? And he coming in the room and he throwing the gloves in the trash can. I'm like, oh Lord, he's irritated. Okay, here we go. Let's see what he's gonna do today. Not knowing what was about to transpire within the next 5 to 10 minutes. We're in the middle of the process of the starting process, the early process of a root canal, and he's trying to drill the tooth. But the drill that he has, that one appears to not be working. And I say appear because there was a reason why it's not working, but I'm gonna get to that. It appears to not be working. So I need new handpiece. So I'm like, okay, that's fine, that's no problem. Again, like I said earlier, when I'm at work, work is work. Okay, so I try not to take a lot of things personal. I like to just let it roll off my shoulders like water off a duck's feathers, because when I go home, I'm not thinking about this BS. When I go home, I'm free, baby. Like Destiny's Child said, ain't no feeling like being free, baby. I was like, yeah, you got another handpiece. That handpiece appeared to not work as well. He gets upset again and says, I need another one. No, before he says he needs another one, I'm like, you need another one. And I just get it for him, right? And I give it to him. Well, y'all, guess what? That handpiece wasn't working either. And you know what this crazy mofo does? He takes the handpiece off and he tosses it in the room, y'all. I'm talking tosses it. And I'm like, okay, first of all, what if it ricocheted and hit the patient who was laying back in the seat? We have a patient and he's acting crazy like this. So he gets up and he throws the handpiece and it makes all this noise, and he gets up, he rips. Okay, if you have ever been in a dental office, you know they will have the box, or any doctor's office, they have box of gloves in like the plastic containers. He rips the box of gloves out the plastic container, rips all of the gloves out of the container, throws the box outside in the hall, and just storms off. And I'm like, what just happened? Like, what is going on? So I sit back and I cross my legs, because I'm like, I don't get paid enough for this. I'm already not getting paid what a dental assistant should be getting paid anyways. I'm not gonna be doing a whole bunch of running after a grown man, okay? A grown man who could be my grandfather, and you're acting younger, you're acting more childish than DJ and the Bay, who are 13 about to turn 14 years old. They know how to act more civilized than that man did, because acting out like that in front of a patient, okay, acting out like that is one thing, but in front of a patient, like the patient is literally sitting laid back. We're in the middle of the daggone root canal. So my coworker, the lead dental assistant, she comes in and she's like, what is going on? What is going on? I'm like, girl, I don't know, and I really don't care. I don't get paid enough for this, so you can try to figure out what's going on. That's not my job, okay? And I sure did, and I sat back and I crossed my legs, because y'all want to know why hand pieces weren't working, which was a simple fix, which he could have done if he just would have calmed down and act like a civilized person. When you're using a hand piece, you need all the hand pieces to be pulled down. He could have really did it himself if he just didn't get all angry and agitated. That just doesn't make sense to me that dentistry gets you that upset. If dentistry gets you that upset, then you don't need to be in the daggone field. You don't need to be in the field. But that just is what it is. There's no reason why dentistry should make you that upset that you throw a freaking handpiece while a patient is in the room, bro. That becomes a liability issue, because what if that handpiece would have ricocheted and hit either me or the patient? But that's not all. I left out a part. When I was in the midst of giving him like the 4 different handpieces, the last handpiece that I gave him, he just snatched it out my hand. And I'm like, okay. Okay, bro, like, I can handle the passive aggressiveness, but once you start snatching stuff, I want to snatch it back and hit you over the head with it. Like, what is wrong with you? Snatching like that, that is rude. That is so rude. Working there, you know, I'm glad that it was, you know, my first job, because I now know for my next job what not to want in the dental office. That wasn't really what set me over the edge. What really set me over the edge, which was last week when y'all saw me leaving work and I was talking about quitting, the day that I did quit actually. That day is what really pissed me off. I already was starting the week off not right, you know, my mental was everywhere. Like, I wasn't in a good headspace, okay? I am about to go in with some powder ooh, hold up. Oh, Lord, why y'all ain't tell me I had leftover eyebrow hairs? Child, I'm about to go on with this. Okay. I totally forgot that this is broke. I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Fit Me powder foundation in a shade 375, I believe, right? Yeah. You know, it was at this point where anything that the doctor was doing was getting on my last nerve. It was getting on my last nerve. Like, he could say something at the slightest that was just like, and it would just piss me off. It would irritate me, okay? It would irritate me so freaking bad, y'all. We were working on a patient and we were doing an extraction, which irritated me as a whole, because it should not have taken as long as it took us to get that freaking extraction, that freaking tooth out. First of all, he had to take it out in pieces because he just doesn't know. Whatever. I'm not here to talk about technique. I'm here to talk about why I freaking left. So we're doing an extraction. It was a specific tool that he was using. There are 2 different kinds of tools, and the handle colors are what differentiate the 2 tools, right? So he had the silver version of this tool. He, you know, I see him, he starts looking like, I might need another one. So I'm like, do you want another one? He's like, yeah, get me the other one. I said, do you want the one with the tan handle? And this man goes, no, I want the skinny version. So I'm confused because of the tool that he's asking for. There is no skinny or skinnier version. The handle just tells you what's different with it. I go over to the, you know, the extraction materials. I'm going and I'm looking and I'm like, I don't know what he's looking for. Like, I don't know what he's talking about. So he goes, and he goes in, y'all. Why does this man grab the tool that I was asking him if he wanted? The same tool that he told me no! He told me no, that he did not need that tool. That is what sent me over the edge. When he said that, I was like, I literally asked you if that was the one that you wanted. That's what I asked you. From there on out, I was like, you know what? From you having to drill this lady's tooth out because you're so idiotic to the point where you don't know how to use your tools to get a freaking tooth out of the socket. You shouldn't even be doing an extraction to begin with, let alone a root canal. You should barely be doing the fillings that you do. But hey, again, who am I? Not my license. That is what sent me over the edge. Cause I was like, really, bro? Like, you was already being rude, and then you wanna, like, he might need some medicine. Because it's like he would be rude and he would be nasty and then wanna come back and try to talk and laugh and giggle with you like 5-10 minutes later. That is not how it go. It's not. I'm sorry. Like, it really irritated me. It just got to a point where I was going to work and every other day this man was being passive aggressive, or he was just, you know, in a grumpy mood. And as a boss, you kind of set the atmosphere for the day. You kind of set the atmosphere for your coworkers. If you're irritated, if you're agitated, that kind of reflects on the whole entire office and all of your employees. So if you're like that every single day, you can only imagine like the stuff that, like, first of all, I was there but I wasn't there. Like, I was working, I was doing my job pretty good. You know, I was pretty good at my job. I ain't gonna lie to you. I might not have wanted to do it, but I'ma always make sure that whatever I'm doing it 10 toes. But going there every single day, starting the day up here and then leaving all the way down here, like, it really started to take a toll on me. I already didn't want to be there. I was dreading going there every day. It was getting to the point where when the office manager come in, which, surprise, surprise, it was his wife, y'all. It was his freaking wife, and that should have been a red flag right there, because she was a trip. It ended up not being a great environment. One thing about me, I didn't do too much, but I also didn't do too little. I came to work every day and I did my job, okay? I stayed in my room about 80% of the time. I was up front here and there, but for the most part, I was in my room tucked away doing what I do best. My presence speaks for itself. No, I'm just like, but I was just in my room chilling, kicking it, caking it until my next patient came around. Like, I never did too much, but I never did too little. When I quit, he was like, why are you leaving so sudden? Because I told him, I'll read y'all my resignation letter. I don't care. I said, hey, so-and-so, I just wanted to let you know that I'm resigning from my position as your assistant effective immediately. I will come by tomorrow to pick my things up. I have left in the assistant room. I'm also going to leave a letter of resignation as well, which I didn't. I, you know, just thankful for the opportunity of, you know, him letting me be his assistant, because at the end of the day, I applied to a few places and they really were iffy about taking me because of either my schedule or my experience. And he was very willing to take me in, and, you know, I was surrounded by people who were very, you know, informative, and it taught me a lot. Like, I didn't know anything about making no fake temporary crowns or using a prefab or a pack of cord or using a scanner. Like, there were a lot of things that I was able to get knowledge of and I learned, so like I can take that stuff to when, you know, whenever I decide to go back to another office, I now have all of these different skills under my belt to where I can now ask for more money. I can now, you know, feel comfortable in doing things on my own, you know. So I'm very appreciative of, you know, being at the office, but I wasn't so appreciative how it ended. I am going to go in with this Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This is Charlotte Tilbury. Woo. You know, he did ask me why I was so sudden, and I told him straight up. I was like, the hostile environment, your tantrums, the passive aggressiveness from you and others, the others being your freaking wife. It just got to a point where I'm like, I'm too young to be sitting here stressing. I don't need this job. I know at the end of the day, I got somebody who is more than willing to, you know, help me out financially. This is not something that I need, and I can easily hold out for the next 2 months until tour time comes around, because I'll be on the road with my mom as her assistant. I could easily hold out until then, not working as somebody's, you know, dental assistant. I'd rather be somebody's assistant on the road, you know, surrounded by what I love, which is music. His wife ended up texting me and she sent me this whole long paragraph. She wanted to have a conversation and she wanted to pray for me and all this other stuff. I kindly ignored her. I'm like, girl, you were one of the main ones who had all this passive aggressiveness towards me. I feel like it was at a point where you knew that I didn't like you, and I kind of had a feeling that you didn't like me. So yeah, you know, I did not answer. There was no point. You know, there was nothing to talk about. What's done, it's done. Go and find you another assistant. Like, there's nothing that needs to be discussed. I don't want no prayers from you. The vibes that were oozing from your pores gave bad juju, and I don't need the prayers, because I would hate for my life to fall apart after you pray to whoever you pray to. That's that. I quit. I don't regret it. I'm very happy that I quit. I feel like now I have a time to, you know, indulge in all of my endeavors when it comes to just creative aspect. You know, I feel like when I was working, I really didn't have, not that I didn't have time, I didn't have the energy. to come home after a day of being with a doctor who is not good at his job and gets aggravated over the smallest things. I'm a big person on vibes and energy, and when you're around that energy all day, every day, of course that energy kind of transfers onto you. So of course you come home and you just want to get in bed. You don't want to be bothered. And that was me. I didn't feel like being bothered. I felt like you know, my channel is at a weird place right now, and it started getting at that weird place once I got this job, and I wasn't able to really put in the effort to my channel. You know, I'm still getting decent views or whatever, but the moral of the story is I will now be able to focus on what I love, which is music, YouTube, and all of my other creative outlets. So expect much more videos, many more sit downs, many more get ready with me's. I love talking to y'all, and yeah, like this is now the beginning of a new era. Okay, so yeah, that is pretty much to sum it up why I quit my job. I could go on a tangent on the many different stories I have working at that office with the doctor that I was working with. I got stories. There have been times where in my head I'm like, you really think you ate that? Like I genuinely wonder if he like goes back into his office after like filling a tooth or something or doing a root canal. He's like, yeah, I ate that. Like I really did what I was supposed to do with that. Like I ate down. If he does, that is genuinely concerning. That is genuinely like very concerning. Like, you really thought you ate that? Really? The whole dish is still on a plate. Y'all know I'm using my Dior Show mascara. Oh my gosh. When I use this one, it just, I don't know, it kind of gives me like a falsy effect. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this one is just a little bit more longer than the other one. One tip I do have is when you are, you know, going in with the mascara, to take off that excess, you know, take off that excess, because that helps when it comes to not having clumpy eyelashes. Nobody wants clumpy eyelashes. Okay, so please take this tip. Alright y'all, so I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Let me tell y'all something. I did my good talking. This was a much needed video. I feel like since I last talked, like I vlog a lot, but I feel like our get ready with me's is where we can really get into the nitty gritty. We can really get into the nitty gritty, and since our last get ready with me, there's just been some things that have transpired. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up and drop a comment below. For my lips, I did a combo today, of course, with gloss. Like, hello. Both Dior products, the Dior Glow Lip Oil and then the holographic gloss. I put this on first and then just put a little bit of this, and I'm here for it. One thing I love about these lip glosses is they make it look like you got the most biggest voluptuous lips. Like, I never forget when I came into work one day, Marcella was like, did you get lip filler? I was like, no girl, what in the world? That's just my lip gloss, okay? Like, my lip gloss be popping, my lip gloss be cool. Follow me on all my socials, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my TikTok. All of that jazz is at JayyeMichael. Y'all know the deal. If you see me anywhere else, 9 times out of 10, it's not me. Don't get scammed, because y'all know people done got real good at scamming. Okay, they'll make you believe that they ain't scamming, but they really are. I love y'all, and I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Peace, y'all.